Ebrahim Raisi, Iran's president and key hardliner, died in a tragic helicopter crash on May 19th. He was a prominent political figure, seen as a leading candidate to succeed the current supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Raisi enforced several repressive Islamic laws, including the harsh hijab and chastity law. His death has created a significant power vacuum within Iran's political structure. This unexpected event is stirring rivalries among hardliners and opening up the field for other contenders in the race to become the next supreme leader of Iran. This incident occurred recently at a critical juncture when succession plan for the 85-year-old Khamenei was becoming increasingly urgent.
Again, I'm not sure if there will be any effect because they did execute policy that was dictated from above. It's actually two people who sit in a lot of committees who now have to be replaced. But I think the system there is stable enough to survive this shock. And may I remind you that people much more important and much more influential than Raisi have found their death in various ways. For example, Qasem Soleimani, who was assassinated, who was killed by the United States about 4 years ago, he had much more influence on Iranian and Islamic Republic policy, security, politics, and he too was replaced.
The crash and the subsequent political tremors are centered in Iran, a country already grappling with internal dissent and external pressures. Raisi was a protege of Khamenei, positioned to continue the supreme leader's hardline policies. His sudden death disrupts the hardliners' plans, forcing a reconsideration of who might ascend to the highest position in Iran's theocratic hierarchy. Raisi, who was 63, had climbed the ranks of Iran's theocracy with Khamenei's backing. His presidency was a step towards potentially becoming the supreme leader, a role that wields ultimate authority over Iran's armed forces and foreign policy. This leadership is pivotal, especially in maintaining a hard stance against adversaries like the United States and Israel. Despite his apparent path to leadership, Raisi's rise was not guaranteed in the opaque world of Iranian politics. His policies aligned closely with Khamenei's, aimed at consolidating clerical power and suppressing dissent. However, economic hardships and widespread protests had already begun to erode his popularity. Now, without Raisi, factions within Iran will jostle for influence. Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader's son, is another name often mentioned. Yet, Khamenei himself opposes any move that might resemble a hereditary succession, seeking to avoid a return to monarchical traditions.
But no one has, still in my experience, no one has clearly mentioned about the Mojtaba Khamenei, particularly because Iranian political system is not a kind of the kingdom-like political system with a royal family. So there is very less likely that anyone could say about a son of supreme leader as a successor of the supreme leader. There are some constitutional elements that could be evaluated by expert council, not now, and there is no relationship with the presidency and presidential election and the supreme leader election. But the supreme leader appointments is going to be done based on the constitution by expert council once a supreme leader has died.
The Assembly of Experts, the body responsible for appointing the next supreme leader, had previously removed Raisi from their list of candidates. With his death, the field is more open, and intense lobbying by various factions is expected. Raisi's death is more than a loss of a political figure. It's a seismic event in Iran's leadership landscape. As we watch the unfolding developments, the question remains, who will navigate the turbulent waters to become Iran's next supreme leader?